Hi guys, and welcome to Freckle Finance. Today's video is going to be on impulse buying. We are all guilty of impulse buying at one point or another. Some of us impulse buy a lot more than others, and I thought this was a good time to make a video on how to prevent you from impulse buying. Impulse buying can really wreak havoc on your budget and prevent you from making your financial goals such as savings. Even worse, impulse buying can put you into debt or put you further into debt. So it's definitely important that you learn skills to manage impulse buying so that you can prevent yourself from impulse buying in the future. My first recommendation to help with impulse buying would be that if you're going to a store because you have something that you already had planned to buy, it's in your budget, or that you need to buy, only bring enough money to pay for that item. Now, if you're someone who doesn't have an impulse buying control, I'm not saying you need to go out and do this because it can be a little bit more annoying to take credit cards, debit cards, and just have certain cash in your wallet. But if you are someone who is an impulse buyer, especially frequently, only keeping cash on you for the items that you are trying to purchase is a great way to prevent you, because you don't have the money on you. You just can't impulse buy. The second way to help you prevent impulse buying, and this is if you have other forms of payment on you, cash, debit card, credit card, more cash than you require for whatever you're going to purchase, and you see something that you really, really want so badly, you really feel like you want it, think about this. Think about your financial future. Are you really, really wanting to sacrifice your future comfortable retirement, early retirement? Maybe you're looking towards saving for a house, or do you want to put yourself into more debt? Are you trying to get out of debt? Just think about your financial plans. Like, kind of make yourself feel guilty about purchasing this thing prior to purchasing it so that you don't have to feel guilty after, and then walk away from it. A third trick, and this one should be very easy to do, if you're bored or you're out with friends and you're just hanging out and just decide to go someplace, do not choose a mall, don't go to a store. If you have no reasons to be purchasing anything, do not enter a store or anywhere that you would buy something, because that is going to make your temptation very high, especially if you are someone who impulse buys a lot and just they go into a store and they want to buy everything. Do not go into stores. Save yourself the hassle. Think about your future self. Think about your future financial self. How upset will they be at you, your future self, if you walk into that store and you purchase something when you could have just not gone into that store anyways, and you put yourself further into debt or avoided your savings goals or whatever. So just avoid going into stores when you have no purpose being there. A fourth thing, and this is if you're already in a store, do not fall for items on sale. Now, sometimes items are legitimately a cheaper price, but oftentimes sales are just a marketing tool and nothing is really actually on sale. Oftentimes prices are spiked prior to it so that you went in a week before and suddenly things are cheaper when they're actually regular price. There's not really a lot of laws to protect consumers for things at sales, at least in Canada. I know other countries, some in Europe, do have protection against the legalities of what a sale can be, but items on sale are not always actually on sale, and oftentimes you think, oh, it's a good price, even if it's a good this scenario works whether it's a good price or not, and you buy it because it's such a good deal, but you never needed the thing in the first place. If you didn't need it and you never end up using it, then there's no point in having it in the first place. There's no point in purchasing it in the first place. It is literally a waste of your money if you didn't need it and you don't want it and you never used it. So do not fall for sale items. I know how much fun it is to buy things on sale. It's great. I love buying things on sale, but I save it for the things that I actually plan to purchase and try to find them on sale. So do not buy stuff on sale when you have no intentions prior to purchasing it. The fifth way to prevent this, and this is one that probably most of you have heard about before, so I'm probably just going to be reiterating it, and it's a bigger deal for bigger purchases. But if you really think that you want it and you're there and you really feel that tug like, oh, this could be really useful in my life, leave the store, especially for expensive items. Leave the store, and for really expensive items, go home and wait a while. Like, if you're thinking about a piece of furniture and something that costs $1,000, don't even think about it for the next day. You need to wait at least a week before you decide that you want to buy something, especially if you didn't want to purchase it in the first place, and just really, really think hard about your about your purchases that you're trying to make. And do you really want this? And this is really going to help you out in the future. Does this really make your life better? Which brings me to my sixth point. Does this item really add anything to your life? Does it make your life easier? Does it make you happier? If the answers are no to that, there's probably no point in purchasing it, because you will feel happier not being stressed out for the rest of your life about finances. If you have your finances in order, because you're not just going out and randomly spending money, you will be happier. Trust me. As well, especially consider not purchasing it if you are in debt. So my 7th point, which is my last point, which is really just changing the way you think about everything from now and for the rest of your life. You have to put everything into a frugal mindset. If you develop a frugal mindset, you will very much less likely to impulse buy, because as you're walking into stores, you'll be thinking, do I need it? Do I want it? No, you're out. Like, you just stop thinking about it. And this is something that I have definitely developed over time. I used to impulse buy a bit more than I do now. I never really was a big shopper, but now I'm usually like, I don't really know if I want it, and I leave. And sometimes I come back and I'm still like, I don't know if I want it, and I leave again. And then really it's like I've gone back 3 times, I still don't really want it. I don't know, I guess I like looking at it in the stores, but I usually just leave. And that's kind of the frugal mindset. You look at it, you're like, well, do I really want it? And you think about it a lot, and trust me, it's better to think, even though it seems harder. And as you get into this frugal mindset further and further, it stops being such a hassle and a chore, and it starts being fun, because you start feeling like you're not going to be outsmarted by these marketing teams and these sales and all this other stuff. You're like, I'm really smart for not buying that because I don't really need it and I have better things to do with my money. So this is not an all-inclusive list of ways to prevent impulse buying by any means. However, I thought these were good starter tips, especially getting into the frugal mindset. So please, especially if you have impulse control, consider taking these tips into consideration into your life, and hopefully it'll improve your finances and your happiness. If you find these videos interesting and informative and you want to learn more, please click subscribe, as I'll be uploading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Have a good day. Bye.